It's 2 a.m. You are walking down a deserted street. The wind is biting cold. Suddenly, just a few feet ahead of you, a man collapses onto the pavement. He clutches his chest. A weak, guttural groan echoes in the silent night. There is no one else around. Just you and him. Your heart starts pounding against your ribs. A violent struggle erupts in your brain in a fraction of a second. One half of you screams, "Run. Don't get involved. It could be a trap." But the other half, something primal, deep, and inexplicably warm, urges you forward. Help him. He needs you. In the end, you choose to stop. You call 911. You save a life. Later, you look in the mirror and think, I am a good person. But what if I told you that action, the heroic moment, wasn't entirely about that man? What if I told you that deep within your biological and psychological systems, that kindness is actually the most sophisticated form of selfishness? That evolution never programmed. Welcome to the world of prosocial behavior. Today, at Psychovive, we aren't going to feed you cliches about living a good life. We're going to peel back the layers of altruism to reveal the naked motives, the psychological shadows, and the painful beauty of being kind in a cruel world. Are you ready to face yourself? Part 1. The Deep Dive. Decoding the Mystery. Chapter 1. The Cost of Kindness. Why do we help? Let's be honest with each other. Why do you give up your seat to an elderly person on the bus? Why do you donate money to a stranger on the internet? Evolutionary psychologists have debated this for centuries. According to the selfish gene theory, humans are not programmed to love the whole world. We are programmed to survive. So why do we sacrifice resources, time, and even our safety for others? There are 3 invisible puppet masters pulling your strings. 1. Kin selection. You would run into a burning building to save your child faster than you would to save a stranger. That is the instinct to protect your genetic line. But the strange thing is, this instinct sometimes misfires and applies to people we aren't related to, simply because we view them as vulnerable. 2. Reciprocal altruism. Subconsciously, your brain calculates at lightning speed, if I help him today, maybe tomorrow when I fall, he or society will help me. Sound calculated. It is. But it happens so fast you mistake it for pure compassion. 3. The dopamine trap. The helper's high. This is the sweetest trick of all. When you do a good deed, your brain releases endorphins and dopamine. That feeling is as potent as a natural painkiller. You feel noble. You feel valuable. In reality, your brain is bribing you to repeat the behavior. So, the burning question remains, did you help them because they needed it, or because you needed the high of being a good person? Chapter 2. The Dark Side of Altruism. When the hero becomes the victim, story doesn't end with happy hormones. There is a dark side to prosocial behavior that few dare to discuss. It's called pathological altruism. Do you know someone who says yes to every request? Someone who stays late to finish a coworker's job while their own work piles up? Someone who acts as a trash can for everyone else's emotional baggage, yet never complains? Maybe that person is you. In psychology, this isn't kindness. This is a defense mechanism. People with pathological altruism often grew up in environments where they were only loved when they were useful. They believe their self-worth is equal to how much they suffer for others. They help not because they have an overflow of love, but because they are afraid. Afraid of abandonment, afraid of conflict, afraid of being judged as selfish. They buy safety through servitude. And the price? Burnout, depression, and hidden resentment. You help people, but deep down, you secretly hope they will be grateful. And when they aren't grateful in the way you expect, you crumble. This is the tragedy of the broken angel. Chapter 3. The Deafening Silence. The Bystander Effect. Now, let's go back to the first example. The man collapses on the street. But let's change the setting. It's not a deserted street at 2 a.m. It is a crowded city square at 7 p.m. Hundreds of people are walking by. You think his chances of being saved are higher, right? Wrong. The brutal truth is, the more people there are, the more likely he is to die. This is the bystander effect, one of the most chilling phenomena in psychology. Remember the case of Kitty Genovese in 1964. A young woman was attacked outside her apartment. She screamed. She begged for help in desperation. Reports suggest that dozens of neighbors heard her. Some even saw the attack from their windows. But no one called the police immediately. No one ran down. Why? Were they heartless monsters? No. They were normal people, just like you and me. Psychology calls the culprit diffusion of responsibility. When you are alone, the responsibility rests 100% on your shoulders. You are forced to act. But when there are 100 people, the responsibility is diluted to 1%. Your brain whispers, someone else will call. I'm not a doctor. I'm late for work. What if it's a prank? The silence of the crowd is the loudest sound on earth. It lulls our conscience to sleep. It turns us into invisible accomplices. Have you ever scrolled past a desperate plea for help on social media, seen thousands of likes and shares, and just kept scrolling because you thought, someone else surely helped them? That is the bystander effect in the digital age. Chapter 4. The light at the end of the tunnel. Conscious compassion. Hearing this, you might feel that humanity is terrible or purely calculated. But don't click away yet, because this is the most important part. Even though our brains are full of selfish programming errors, humans are the only species capable of cognitive empathy. We have mirror neurons. When you see someone crying, the area of your brain that processes your own pain lights up. You actually feel their pain. That is a biological miracle. It blurs the line between me and you. True prosocial behavior is not blind sacrifice like pathological altruism, nor is it indifference. Like the bystander effect, it is a conscious choice. It is when you recognize your own fear. I'm scared of being scammed, but you choose to extend trust anyway with boundaries. It is when you know you are tired and you know how to say no to protect your energy, so that when you do say yes, your help is whole and effective. It is when you separate yourself from the numb crowd and dare to be the first one to step forward and ask, are you okay? It only takes one person to step forward for the crowd mentality to reverse. You become the lighthouse that guides others to act. Kindness is not an instinct. Kindness is a skill. And like a muscle, it must be trained through pain. Part 2. Conclusion. The Taco-Ladies and gentlemen. The world is not short of smart people, but it is desperately short of bravely kind people. Prosocial behavior isn't just about helping others. It is medicine for your own soul. Studies have shown that people who regularly perform small acts of kindness, holding a door, smiling, listening, have cortisol stress hormone levels 23% lower than the average person. Helping others is helping yourself live longer and happier. But remember this hard-earned lesson. Don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Be kind, but be kind to yourself first. Help others, but set boundaries. And most importantly, do not let the indifference of the crowd cool your heart. If you see someone fall, be the first to stop. Because who knows, one day, the person lying there might be you. If you are feeling lonely or burn out because you've given too much and received too little, remember that you are not alone. Psychovive is here to listen and understand the shadows of your mind. The journey into the depths of human psychology is long. If this video touched a nerve, if it made you rethink the times you helped or the times you walked away, leave a comment below. We read them all, truly. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell for Psychovive. We will return with stronger, deeper, and even more fascinating doses of psychological vaccines. Thank you for listening, and thank you for choosing to be a kind human today. Goodbye, and see you in your mind.